You flew in with a camera and a dream, another white savior with the YouTube scheme. Found a sweet girl, half your age, so sweet. Now she's your content, our love so cheap. You say it's real, but we all see the game. Poverty porn with the romantic frame. She's your backdrop, your exotic prize, while you count the clicks from your paradise. Oh, don't be that guy with the vlog and a lie, selling a story while you're living the high. You say it's true love, but the comments all know you're just another old man with a show. Don't be that guy. You built a channel off her yes and dear, but the second she speaks, you cut her clear. She's so shy, folks know she's just aware that her life's your script. Do you even care? You say she's happy, but we see the strain. Another brown face in your cash grab frame. Her family's struggling, but your Patreon's high. Tell me, hero, who's really saving lives? Oh, don't be that guy with a vlog and a lie, selling a story while you're living the high. You say it's true love, but the comments all know you're just another old man with a show.
Boy, she's really going to town, man.
I know she's going to town.
Going to town.
Look at her.
What is...
She's at it.
Hey, me and the cat look a lot alike, don't we? Got some black and the same orange. Check it out. I'm driving in my car. Hey, look, I get to be another. Oh,
A little
And-
frizzy.
yeah. Here, feel it. Here, feel it.
Mhm.
Feel that shit. Ow! He beats me when you guys aren't around. Yeah. Yeah.
Make me a sandwich.
I'm gonna make you a sandwich.
Make me a
alright?
sandwich.
I'm gonna wait until you're asleep. And I'm gonna drop it like it's hot.
Go to the kitchen, woman.
Uh-huh.
Good morning, guys. How you guys doing today? Magandang abak masanting mayang buntag. As Heidi was saying earlier, say what? Magandang what?
Magadan harpoon.
Hapon. Hapon.
Getting
hapon.
better. Well, it could be early morning for those that are in certain countries, but we are supposed to be going out later today. But we thought we would fit in a live stream because tomorrow we have a big schedule. So look who's up. Probably only because it's 11 o'clock. You got your sting?
It's only 11? Alright. Wake me up when it's 3 o'clock. Home.
Right, something like that. Look at the little kitty back there. No, I'm not waking you up. So today we're going to talk about, I figured me and him have been talking about, is the American dream alive or even the Philippine dream? Hey, babe, remember back in the good old days when the Philippines was golden too? The old man knows about it. I'm gonna eat some donuts. He did bring donuts. So when he went out to the bank today, we managed to check it out. Probably exactly what I need. Oh, sorry, the other way. Check it out. Little donuts. Told you, sweetie, I wish you'd stay off my hair. Surprise! I'm not your. Look, she thinks I'm her mommy.
Oh, of course she does. You are her mommy. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah. This wig's off soft. Here,
Did you show him?
here. Have some crabs.
No, really.
George already has crabs. Sweetie, please get off of my hair.
Did you show the donuts?
Would you like a donut?
They're cute little
Here.
donuts. I mean, this is the crab one. There's
There you
different
go.
ones.
Try that one.
There's
Uh-huh.
a crab one. There's a Patrick one,
Well,
I
I
guess.
think these are more C. Yeah, for here.
There's a little Patrick one, I guess.
Hey,
Patrick
Sarah.
one.
Hey, Ted. Hey, Kay
And
Dallas.
then, I don't know what this is. I'm not
Can I
sure
wear
if
this
it's.
out later?
I think it's a jellyfish.
Can I wear this out in public?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Well, I'll have to because I plan to shave my head here in about a week. What?
Hey, SpongeBob.
Mm-mm. Hey, there's something in the middle.
Huh? There is
Mhm.
something in the middle.
Mhm.
Really?
Kind of like you. A little creamy in the middle. So brown on the outside. That looks like you. Mm-hmm.
Oh, the crab one's chocolate in the middle.
The other one has jelly.
No way, I got robbed. Which one is it?
Will you stop, kitty?
Mm.
Here, Patrick. Right, got jelly.
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay.
So, no, he gets a little thing, just so I can get a little taste. Just like I got a little taste when I got in the Philippines.
What?
All these 10 by standby guys that are willing to give it up for about 500 pesos. So I got a little taste, just a little bit.
500
Yeah,
pesos. That's
just a
overpriced.
little.
I remember when they were only 100 pesos.
Oh, sometimes I pay 100.
They would literally swarm all over you, and they said only 100 pesos.
Honey, I can't
And I'm not joking, by the way.
Are getting so dirty. Is it your dirtiness in this house, huh? Can you say hi to the people? The rest of her family's sleeping.
Who's
Yes,
that?
they are. Yeah. Say hi.
That's Megan, guys.
Yeah, hi, Meg. All right, so you've got control of the controllers here. So we're gonna hang out for a little bit and then probably not have a live tomorrow because we got stuff to do tomorrow. But anyway, but I'm glad you can be here today.
Thank you guys for being here with us.
Magadano, Magadano.
You're already putting up the Independence Day decorations up
Independence what?
for the Philippines.
You know, I was discussing with AI the other day. Ain't no man free. No man is free until they set free the whole planet. And he said he agreed with me.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Anyways, so here's my deal. There ought to be one planet. Everybody should be able to travel where they want. There should be universal insurance. I think it all should be put together, and I think there should be 3 people running the entire Earth.
What?
Yes, I think there ought to be 3 in charge, not 1. Not to come back to what's going in the US, that's part of the topic. But if you think about it, it would be a nice dream that somebody in, say, Jamaica can go anywhere in the world, or somebody from,
Oh, you're talking about one world.
say, Australia. Well, that's what I said. One world.
Mm.
And you just can't put one person in charge.
Mm.
Universal insurance and all of that. I think the biggest issue is healthcare. So,
Well, technically, insurance doesn't really have to be limited to borders. That's even to the world right now with divided countries. Insurance can cross borders. I get that.
yeah, I mean it's the same thing about the harsh truth about giving up on the American dream or people giving up. You know what? I still feel that when people leave certain countries and things they don't always agree with what's going on in their country. It could be the same said about Filipinos that leave the Philippines. Some of them are just outright trying to get out and they don't like what's going on here. They feel there's a lot of bad things going on. The same with I felt that way about the US that, people do have their reasons, whether it's financially or because they're scared of something or politically there are things going on, but with what's going on right now, with what's going on with the tariffs and the cost of living and all kinds of stuff is going on in the US, people are having to make decisions like, really harsh ones,
Okay, the tariffs. Let's since Heidi brought it up. Since this is part of the topic,
Girl,
like
you better
we
move on.
give up. And it affects you, it affects us, it affects everybody. Now the tariffs again, this is not a pro or anti US government. Just be aware. I'm just letting you guys know that it does affect everybody and
what are
it
you
crosses
yelling
the
about?
borders. For instance,
No more.
for example, how does it affect us? Now, the trade between China and the Philippines obviously isn't affected. However, be aware that the plants that are shut down does affect us because if those plants shut down,
Hold
they
on,
can't
Vince.
provide to the Philippines either. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just one plant. So what I'm saying is, although let's for example, make up a company name called XYZ Chang ships their orders to the US and it ships to the Philippines, if because of the tariffs they stop
He's got your
deciding
black
to,
chicken.
right, they can't afford to operate anymore, they can't ship to the Philippines either. So that affects not just us, it affects everybody else in the world because the China
Mhm.
again is the biggest manufacturer in the entire world.
And
This
it's yeah, it's affecting people more than they're actually saying, like, because these items aren't shipping and because they're not arriving at stores, people are laying people off based on their costs going up, them not being able to afford things. There's a whole chain of events, and I think by the day, and officially, by the way, I think today was the day that it went into effect, or they announced at least. And so I think there's going to be all kinds of chain effects.
right.
So
Now, for example, to make things worse, some of you in the US may experience this, and some of us in the Philippines may experience this. There's something called panic buying. You buy more of something that you usually get that you know is from China, and that creates like a bigger hole. For instance, for example, some of you, for instance, are aware that, for example, Dollar Tree sells like the steak for like $1.75, which are a really good deal, and they're really good unless they change the formula. But point being, let's say you're a big fan of them and you start stocking them up, now it creates a problem for other people because they can't purchase that item anymore because you bought them all,
we
or
bought up
other
60 of
people
them.
like you bought them all.
That would be us. We'd probably be getting a deep freezer, and we'd probably
Correct. Correct. So
Mhm.
it creates a bigger problem.
Yeah. So for those like in between where we have a little bit of money, for those that are living paycheck to paycheck that just needed 10 of them
You
for the
just
week.
you know s- screwed the pooch, as they say.
I, I like I like I like screwing the pooch, and then I like then you afterwards. That sounds like you're screwing the monkey in George's case.
No, that's more like me and Willie. Whenever Heidi decides to like give me the cold shoulder. But anyway,
I'm giving you that right now.
that's default, guys. I live in a doghouse, and then you wonder why.
I don't wonder why.
Hmm.
We write another song about it.
Yeah. I mean, I look at the dog and I think of Air Supply.
Wow,
Just
wow,
saying.
wow. You
You know.
nothing but the dog in me. Atomic dog. You
Oh.
wouldn't know anything about that when you're riding in the back of a yellow bus and Atomic Dog comes on. This is about this is about a dog in the neighborhood. This is called the Atomic Dog. Atomic Dog. Yeah, never mind. I had a
No, no, no,
flashback.
no. I get it. I get it. I
Mhm,
mean,
mhm,
that's still
mhm.
in my
Walking down the
doghouse, as it were.
street,
Hey, Sarah
looking at
Tyson.
the
Hello,
dog.
Heidi and George. Hey, Sarah.
Hey,
Ted
what
says
is going on?
hello, Sarah, and the rest of you beautiful people.
And Sarah, I have to get back. I had George go in, and he's the one that went in today and sent you that quick message. I haven't listened to your last message. I talked to Sarah yesterday, and I pretty much have been out resting, and so I fell asleep on and off. And George was like, "You gonna sleep all day?"
Oh,
And so,
yeah.
yeah.
This is
So,
part of the topic, by the way, guys. For example, we just came from the bank. That's why we started this live late because we had other stuff we needed to do.
yeah. So the next 2 days really busy.
Remember, when you're into the Philippines, you're in Filipino time. For instance,
Oh my god.
now I already have an account with certain banks. Okay, with one with but I already have another bank account with this bank, and I created another bank account with that bank because you guys should never put your eggs in one basket. You guys should know that, right? So I made another account,
Especially at that cost.
and of course, with an account, you get a debit card, right? How long has it been since I made that account?
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's literally a month and a week. So it's
for the card.
a
that you
month
get.
and a week. I
Mhm.
still don't have my debit card yet for that new
Yeah,
account.
yeah. So we have several accounts there. He just opened
Correct.
up another one based
So
to
right. So just
his runaway money or stuff to give his standby.
well, it's more like like a little kabit, kabit pay,
Oh, sorry, kabit standby.
kabit pay. So
Standby means standby, right? So it's a
yes,
kabit standby.
yeah. So what I'm saying is,
Kabit.
it's been literally exactly a month and a week, and I still don't have a debit card for my newest account.
Uh,
So I'm just letting you guys know, don't be alarmed. This is normal. It does
and
happen
it took us a
occasionally.
while. I was telling Sarah that, I was dreading going to the bank today and going off and doing things because literally sometimes it could be we sit there 20,
Yeah.
30 minutes.
And
They take your book stuff from us and then they have you go sit back down. They give you a number when you come in the bank and you go and sit down, and there wasn't even that many people. And we were still there probably an
yeah,
hour.
and to keep again, remember, it's not like this all the time. For example, my first account, it took literally the same day. I already got my debit card. The second account, I got the debit card a week after. My third account, well, guess what? It's been a month and a week, literally. So be aware, it varies and it differs. So I'm just letting you guys know, I've been waiting for a month and a week for this latest account of mine for my debit card. But it does happen. And again, like I said, on sometimes you get it the same day, sometimes you get it the next week. You know what I'm saying? So don't be disparaged. Don't think you're being singled out. Don't think that,
Speaking of singled out, you think what's crazier, the hair underneath here or wearing this to the mall?
they probably think it's real.
Oh yeah, it actually looks pretty real. I was just looking at the amount of curl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, why there's no reason. to
Hold
not.
on.
I know.
Yeah. And make me a sandwich one. Anyway, so
Location, location, location. Don't want to give my location away because we're big, big, big celebrities.
exactly.
Nah, it's true. Sometimes when we go out, we do get a few people that approach us. We never get through them all. So, and believe me, you can't miss this. And if I throw this wig on, you really ain't gonna miss this. Already gonna stand. Why do you think I switched to my gray pants versus my pink one? You'll be able to see me all the way in I almost said Tampa, all the way in Manila. Say there goes Heidi. So I had to
Right.
take my pink jean. I had these pink pants on today, and I'm like, yeah, I better take those off. I already shine bright, anyways. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Anyways, you mind going through the comments? You were zoning out there. I still George doesn't get enough sleep for real. Dude, say hi to the people.
Hi.
All
All right. So anyway,
I wish that atomic dog would bite his ass.
K Dallas. Good morning, K Dallas. What's going on, man? K Dallas. Adam Zah. Hey, Adam Zah. How
You
you
already
doing?
went through the other people. I missed that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I
See,
did. Yes.
so I'm zoning out.
Adam Zah. Hi, guys.
I
Like a spot says hello, Antics Fanatics. Damon. Hey, Damon. How you doing, man? Welcome to the channel. Hello from sunny San Diego. Oh my gosh. I used to love San Diego. The reason why I say I used to love is because I've been warned several times never to go back to San Diego. I love San Diego. I used to go to the park every day. I used to sit literally under this little palm tree, you know what I'm saying, and read a book. Yes, I read physical books. And then, and I used to ride my mountain bike. Oh my gosh, I love San Diego. In San Diego, I loved me and my cousin. We used to get these power wheels and ride the power wheels literally down these steep hills. The best time ever. But anyway,
He's still riding those power wheel bikes. Yeah, one of them green machines, big wheels.
best time ever.
That was yesterday.
Sarah Tyson, hello, roomies. Hey, Sarah, lost in the Philippines. Hello, George Heidi, hey, lost in the Philippines. Sarah Tyson says, airport security told me to color my hair or get a new picture.
Ah, snap.
Oh, right. I get it. That makes sense. So I guess your hair doesn't match your. ID. Yeah, and
I
again,
guess I never thought about that. If I go shaving my hair off, which I've never done before, and I'm has zero hair on my head, I bet it will look weird. I will not match that ID whatsoever. Same with this. If I wear this, they probably wouldn't know me.
yeah, and our prayers go again to the casualties of Ninoy Aquino International Airport
By the way, nobody can see your
of that
necklace. Take that
person who
down.
just decided to drive the SUV right through, you know, the departure gate.
They can see it if you take down the. Check out George's necklace. No, you can't eat that. It's his fried chicken necklace. Yeah, you still can't see it over there.
Fried chicken.
So he's got his gear. You going to wear that out when we go out to eat later too?
Yes.
Uh,
Let's bring your own lunch.
hmm.
Rob Morrison says, "Go ahead. I'm eating."
Oh, that's right.
Listening. Sorry.
That's right. So now that it is down, yes, you're right. It flips. I can see
No,
it
no,
somewhere.
yeah, we're on the other side. Lost in PH says, "Thanks for waking George up this morning."
You know what they said to do to you the other day?
Oh,
Because I told them with
no.
you working. No, and I'm going to have to
Oh,
do this
no.
to you. I forgot. Remind me who said this. Literally, they told me next time I'm to do a live stream on the phone. I'm supposed to like go to the bed. They said go wake George up and bring the live stream to the bed. And I said people do that, by the way, but who used to? I can't think of what blogger used to do all their lives in the bed. It was kind of creepy, but no. Next time they said wake your ass up, and I said, well, I don't want to hear from the rest of the day. I said, but it is a good idea doing, like how we did the lives out and about on the phone and everything. So,
Oh, okay. That's not too bad.
And I just want to let you know that I don't have the whiteboard going yet, but we are making our plans for the 1st of July to do different events in July for our birthday. So, I mean, I have it marked here. We're in a 60-day count for our birthday month in July, and we have 24 live streams till then. Say it, George. 24, 24, 24. Discerning Dash, that's a great start. We are starting to collect for our birthday month. So, hi George and Heidi. Say it, George. Big Burr.
Big brrr. Big brrr.
Been in the Philippines since 2 weeks. Difficult to catch your streams now since it's early for me. Now instead of 8 back in the U.S. Surprised you have a live at 11 a.m. We sometimes do. We've been known to do them at night. We haven't done any in a while, but I know when we found that I went at 8 a.m., whether it was by myself or with George, it just seemed like people still weren't getting in there, even if it was 8 o'clock at night in the United States. So we change it up, but still going to keep it a couple times. But thank you so much for your support. We will add that in for our birthday month. So we will be doing the live streams and looking for support. And are we going to stick with the houses here in Angeles City? The 2 that I showed you, the ones on Airbnb?
What are you talking about? That's my happy ending money.
Yeah,
Happy ending.
well,
$10 happy ending at $10.
This year we're going to make it big. So we will get your happy ending massage. We're going to get footage of you going and getting your own personal massage. We're going to, I can't get George to approve a 10,000 a night place, which basically is $200. When we were in Florida, there were hotels up there that cost us $200 a night. So for this house, it is an oversized house, very modern, that we're thinking about renting for our birthday. So we'll be doing that. I still think we're going to do the giveaway of hot dogs, and I'm still going to set up my pool out front. Probably going to get burnt, probably a real bad idea, but you know what I'll do? I'll put a bunch of baby oil on me to keep me from being burned.
You know what I'll do? I'll give away hot dogs.
Why don't you give away hot dogs and ice cream for your birthday?
There you go.
Give everybody a little tip.
Correct.
So we have plans, and this time we want to do more footage for it. So,
One egg for every girl.
I'll be collecting for George's funeral funds up to then. Stay away from the stairs there, George. You know what? That ought to be the next song we ought to write. Don't go near the stairs, George. Don't go near the stairs. Watch out, George. Here comes Heidi. Watch out for the stairs, boy. Watch out. What are you vibrating? Yeah, you better.
That's weird.
Okay.
This phone never rings.
Okay, yeah, you better. 1 second, guys. He's got a call coming in. All right, I had muted it. Yeah, he's in a call, but I'm trying to get him to go outside.
Okay.
It's unmuted, so.
Oh, no, it's my uncle.
Oh, it's your uncle. You okay?
Yeah, it's a family event. I have to be there. Okay, yeah.
A family event. See, there it is. No, here the last few months I've told you guys if he's not here, he's either working or there's always something going on at the family house. And for me in this type of weather, I'd rather just stay home, and that's what I do. So that's going to be 100% cutting it close today.
Yeah. It's all right. There's time.
A little last minute.
It is what it is. Chosen ones.
And usually last minute on top of that.
Yeah, slides into the room like a wrestler into the ring. All
Hey,
right,
what's
chosen
going
one.
on,
What's going
chosen
on,
one?
chosen one? Sean says it really helps to have a friend inside the bank and go to the same bank branch. But yes, patience is a virtue. Well, yes. I mean, for example, it helps that if they know you and they already know us and everything, but it's there's the problem is the hiccup is it's not that bank. The hiccup is headquarters. Because certain banks, for instance, the debit card. Remember, there's banks that don't issue debit cards, period, at all. So don't go to those. Don't use those banks. Okay. And then there's banks that produce their own debit cards on the spot. Okay. And then there's debit cards that produce the debit cards from Metro Manila. The first bank account had, they produced the bank cards right then and there, so that was no issue. The second one, which is kind of weird because it's a major bank, a major bank, but the bank cards are coming from Metro Manila, and that's where the hang up is. They already have the bank card, to be honest with you, but they don't have the other part to make it work, if that makes any sense. It's kind of weird. There's a disconnect somewhere. Anyway,
It happens.
it happens, yes. Ted Engen says, chosen one, I think it's Slither. Also, so I think he's saying that chosen one slithers into the ring.
Oh,
Marion Habera, good morning, Marion.
good morning.
Chosen one says, Ted, you might be right. Sarah Tyson says your hair looks good.
I didn't know whether to put this on or not. So it's the other wig I was telling you about, but I have a few more that's coming. I actually have a mullet one that's coming from China from Shein. Just remember, we're ordering Shein and we're not paying 3 times as much, so it's kind of sweet and or 150% more. And there's a mullet one that I haven't ordered yet that's literally cut with longer that looks like Joe Dirt, but it's got colors in it, like colored like blonde, red, and it's got pink running through. It looks like a punk rocker, basically. It's a mullet. And so I think it'll be funny. They have a blonde mullet for you and a dark mullet for you. That's what I was trying to get you to answer me in your sleep yesterday. I kept trying to wake him up in a nap, and I'm like, do you want the blonde or do you want the dark one? Do you want to look like Tommy? What's his name? Tommy Lee? Or did you want to look like, was it Brett Michaels from, I didn't know what color hair you wanted. So, but I think the wigs are cool.
Isn't that the same?
No, Brett's blonde, I believe. Brett Michaels is a blonde.
Oh, okay.
I think, pretty sure Brett Michaels.
Yeah, he is. Yes.
So,
Yeah.
it'll be
Candy cane.
interesting.
Candy cane.
The subject we've been talking about on and off is, the harsh truth or hard truth about giving up on the American dream or giving up on the Philippine dream. We definitely have people that come all the way here, so it's a mixed topic and answering questions on it. That guys come here and they end up going back to their home country. So they even have to give up on their Philippine dream on top of that. They give up on the American one in so many ways, and then they come here looking for a woman, cheaper prices, thinking that the grass is greener, and then they get here and then it's not so, and then they end up going back. They give up on that Philippine dream that they thought they had, and they go back more so than not. And if it wasn't cheap here for me, and if it wasn't for my husband not being here, then I probably, with so many different things going on, would probably go back. So, but for me, the biggest thing is, for me, is cost. So it keeps me grounded. I don't like the heat. I don't like when the internet and power goes out. But when
Well, that's not
it
like you could
comes to
feel the
being,
heat. I mean,
huh?
it's not like it's hot or anything.
Well, yeah, it's because we have AC. But when
Correct.
we was at the other house, 12 hours of the day, I did not. So that was really rough on me. So what I'm saying is the AC's been a lifesaver. If the AC goes down and we have power outages, I'm out. I'm gonna tell you right now, if I had to deal with this heat and power
What
outages, I'd be
power
done.
outages?
I wish I had a comic dog would just bite you in the mother rocking your ass. Close your mouth before you catch a fly, or my fingers.
Yeah. For those of you horror fans out there, just remember to just watch Joyride, great movie. That's where the name Candy Cane comes from.
Yep.
Candy Cane, great movie.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a series. Anyway,
Yes.
Lost in the Philippines says I said it, Heidi, like John and Yoko alive from the bed.
It
There
was
you go.
lost, and PG said, "Go get him up and put the camera." I said, "Yeah, I usually would." So next time.
Chosen One says I can't remember last time I celebrated my birthday. I do get a birthday wishes from.
Oh.
Oh, is it your birthday? Happy birthday, Chosen One.
Well, it's probably because I'm talking about our birthday month. Since last 4 years, we take the money and support for about 2 months. Any stickers that come in, and people send us PayPal and all these different things. We gather it up and we do all kinds of things throughout the month. So we do a lot more live streams, and so
We usually tend to share our birthday with you guys, so
yeah.
stay tuned for that one. Hopefully, it'll
George
be
will
a
pay
great
for
one.
it one way or the other.
Rob Morrison says my birthday's on July 6th, so I'm with you on the celebration.
Ah, there you are.
Awesome. There you go, Rob Morrison. There you go.
Yay.
You get to spend the birthday time with us. Like last time
You
we
can give
had.
him a hot dog there, babe.
Oh, we had Shaq and we had Weird Al.
Oh, where they announced their birthday. And
Yeah, they
everything.
announced their birthday. Yeah.
You know what? I was totally glitched out when I discussed what we did our last birthday. We ended up going last year was we went down to Olongapo and Subic.
Yes, I was gonna
Okay.
say that. Yes.
Well, it's funny with my memory issues and lupus brain and all that. I actually started saying something about it. I
Yeah,
don't
we went
remember what we
to
did.
ASEA last year, and the year before that, we went to Clark.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I forgot. So it totally slipped my mind for multiple reasons. I'm like, oh man, we did. And I looked at the date and I was like, yes, it was last year. It's like crap. But here's the thing: the older I get, the quicker time is going by. It's hard. It's hard for me to even fathom that a whole month has gone by. It just goes by so quick. Or even
It goes
that we've been
faster
here
than you
4
realize.
years.
Yeah. For example, again, like when I applied for that new bank account, I didn't even realize it was already a month and a week until today.
Mhm.
Chosen One says last time I celebrated my birthday, my mom gave me socks when I was 16 years old. There you go. Hey Damon, how you doing? Jeep Man says hi, Heidi and George. Been a long time since I caught live. Hope all is well with you, Jeep
Hey,
Man.
what is going on? And Stephen Jabs, the only reason we skipped it is we just explained what it was literally two back. Somebody asked the same question. So,
Yeah.
so we're just discussing and answering questions in regards to people giving up on the American dream. And they also give up on the Philippine dream too. And also, they're giving up on the American dream now more than ever. Or is it even existing right now with everything going on? That's kind of.
Okay. Now, first off, this is not an anti-America or anti-government. We're not talking about that. We're talking about how it affects us and everything else. For example, the tariffs, like we said earlier, it may not be affecting us directly, but it does in the long run affect us because it does affect the company, and that company usually provides the same to us in other countries all over the world. Now, if for example, right now the issue with China, I've said this before, and a lot of people don't believe me. I don't, and I don't care because again, it's you guys don't have to listen to me or Heidi or whatever. That's up to you. But what I'm saying is China, before the tariffs, was already on the brink, and they're blaming the current government of China that because of his incompetence, that China's going down. Okay, now first off, I think I'm not pro China, just so you guys know. Um, what's going on with China is the current government. Be honest with you, they did what they could to save the economy. more than you guys realize. They have been trying. Now the problem with China is, you guys ever heard of the term keeping with the Joneses?
Hmm.
Or the problem with China is the same problem with North Korea and the same problem with Soviet Union, is they're trying to keep up with America. They're trying to keep up appearances, and they're spending money to do this, because if you ain't got the Benjamins, you ain't got the Benjamins. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is they're spending money where they shouldn't.
Ooh, wake up.
But that being said, I'm telling you guys first off again, that's an issue, because that in the end goes back to America too, because America is actually keep this. I'm not anti-America, but the problem with America too, it's trying to keep up with itself. It's really weird. Anybody who follows world economy and anybody follows military power and everything will know exactly what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is, I've said before, North Korea and China are never really a real threat, and neither is Soviet
Oh,
Union.
snap.
Now the problem is China is trying to keep up to be a threat, although it couldn't be. North Korea has been trying to be a threat, though it couldn't be, and same thing with Russia. Russia has collapsed. You guys already know that. North Korea has been collapsed a long time ago. Most people aren't even aware of this. Although they, of course, obviously they keep appearances. They're still keeping up with the Joneses. China is on the verge of collapse, and I've said this
I wonder if you're
in
getting
our
to so much
past
later.
lives. Now, this tariff thing is, the final straw, so to speak, on the camel's back on China. But the current government has done what it could to keep it alive as long as possible. I mean, I'm just letting you guys know that you'll hear stuff about, oh, it's because the current government they did this. Well, you have to realize it's because of the current government that China's still alive. So, because remember, guys, again, it doesn't matter if fair is fair. I'm not pro China. I'm just letting you know that the current government did what it could to save China. But the tariff is just the last straw. Now, why am I saying this? Because, guys, it affects you guys. If you affect the biggest manufacturer and supplier of the world, aka the US, the Philippines, even Taiwan, even Japan. I mean, freaking A. I mean, Japan gets Chinese products from China as their dollar store. I'm not joking. They do. It's
I
called,
love the dollar store.
yeah, exactly. Every
Most,
world
a lot of stuff from
has a
Walmart.
dollar store version, and they actually get their supplies, and not just little tiny trinkets or
A lot of Walmart
garbage
is Chinese.
stuff. We're talking about food too.
Toothpaste, even Crest.
Right. Whether it's right, correct. Whether it's fishes, whether it's chicken. Yes, some chicken come from China. Point being is,
a lot of chicken and fish comes from China.
that's
There'll
the
be little to no tilapia in the U.S. here real quick.
thank you, exactly, and that's the point I'm trying to make. Even though, for example, like I said earlier when we started the live, it doesn't the tariffs don't affect the Philippines directly.
Nope,
But since it affects the suppliers from China, it will hurt
affect the world.
us.
Yeah, one way or the other.
It won't hurt us as much, but it will still hurt us and the rest of the world. And that's why,
Jobs, truck driving. It'll hurt people down to the hotels and stuff. Every part of the industry.
everything. For instance, this may sound stupid, okay, but this is a real thing. It's both sides of the coin in the US. There are products, for example, okay, let's say, for example, a vacuum. Okay. There are vacuums in the US that are made 100% in the US.
Not many, but
Okay? But the packaging is all from China. It's kind of weird,
they
but
said usually when stuff is built, even if they're assembling it in the U.S. and they're calling it made in the U.S., they're still getting some parts of the machine.
well, yeah, that too. And also be aware that sometimes the box says made in the USA. For example, you get a vacuum that says made in the USA.
The only thing
The vacuum is made in China, but the box is made in the US. It's both sides of the coin. So be aware that even though you think it's made in the US, it's really not.
Only thing made in the U.S. was me.
I'm not even
It's
sure
okay.
about that, but anyway, I mean,
You're right. My wig is from
I
China.
I think Heidi came from the Greys, from from the Kuiper Belt. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, it's
Leave a
probably true.
comment.
Yes,
Kuiper Belt.
Heidi's
Oh,
from the Kuiper Belt,
you
from the
tried that cute
Greys.
stuff with the guy at the bank, and you guys were talking about some sort of comic, whatever. When you gave him your email, and I said, "Is that an Asian thing? Is that some sort of Asian thing?" Kuiper.
I was trying to get some salsa there. I'm just saying,
Trying to get free samples.
get some Filipino love.
You trying to get love from anybody. And you know what? They just said that old dude talks too much. You talk, you talk too much.
Old dude, most people don't think I'm old.
I do.
Yeah, because you actually know my age.
I'm just messing with you. I've always thought you were young. See Bella? See her?
Huh?
See what
What?
she's doing over there? That's why I
Aw.
have allergies. You think that's
Aw.
cute until I have my nose clogged up and I'm snoring at night.
Right.
Not really.
Victor C. Hey, Victor, how you doing? Hi, George and Heidi. Yes. Remember
Thank
to
you,
give us a
Victor.
like button, and again, just to show your sign of support. When you go over to your friend's house, go through their cupboards and rip off every label on their canned goods so they don't know what they're eating. Just rip off all the labels of their canned goods,
Till we
and
meet again.
and then mix them up. Just give them a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Next time.
Just to show your sign of support.
Check it out. It said, not funny. Cardinal David is now denouncing that somebody had put out Trump's AI photo and video showing that he's the next cardinal, because they're saying with all the stuff and them considering him a dictator, some and a bunch of people created him as the next pope. David, the cardinal here, said, not funny. You ain't even playing with that. Not so funny.
Some people need to buy a sense of humor from the dollar store.
Hey, that's Cardinal David. Be nice. He's our next pope.
Maybe.
Poop, poop, poop,
I
poop,
vote
pop,
Trump.
poop, poop,
Just
pop,
saying.
pop. Right? Well, maybe that would be sweet. Yeah, no, he's upset. I was looking up different things about the tariffs and what they had in the news, and it says here, not funny. Cardinal David is extremely upset. He denounces that
Yeah,
Trump
he needs
stuff.
to get a life. Chosen One says, "Hey Sarah, how you doing?" Jen says, "Hi, Heidi and
Oh
George.
no, it's Lewis is the one. I thought it was the David that was the.
Hope your day was amazing. I just love watching your channel. Important things you talk about. Thanks for always being awesome. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
Jen. Appreciate you
Jen.
so much. Appreciate your support, love and support." Sarah Jan says, "All the regulars should eat cake and
Let
send
him
our
eat
pictures
cake.
to Heidi and George for happy birthday." There you go.
That would be funny. We could have people eating cake and we'll put their photos up for our birthday. Yeah, start doing that, guys.
That would be awesome. Guys, send a picture of you guys eating cake.
Let him eat cake.
We would create a collage and stuff, seriously. Or do a music video for our birthday video, you know what I'm saying? That would be awesome. That's like a virtual gathering of all eating cake.
Mhm. Oh,
Yeah, we should all do that, guys. Again, send a picture of you guys eating cake. That'd be
Speaking of
great.
which, they have a new mango cake at like Red Ribbon or one of those places.
Oh
It's
my
mint
God, Red
mango.
Ribbon. Yes, that's great.
Yeah, it's the one with the whipped cream and chiffon and everything. So just in time for our birthday, they have a mango cake. So it's pretty sweet.
Hank Sandoval says it's going fast. He's talking about
You
time
have to right here, babe.
because you're closer. Dude, that's a little dark, bro.
Which is the truth, yeah.
Yeah. Chosen One says, interesting topic. I've given up on American and Philippine dream. There are just too many. Okay. Now, here's a little interesting thing because somebody likes to go to Colombia and El Salvador. Now, for those of you who are wondering what's going on with Trump in El Salvador, he actually took a playbook from the El Salvadorian president. What Trump is doing is basically what the El Salvadorian president has done in the past decade, well, or within the last 5 years. He literally did again, decided,
Too
to
many
use
options.
that act to to grab people that he thought were criminals or gang members and then incarcerate them. Just so you guys know, the El Salvadorian government did this 5 years prior to. So I'm just letting you know, he just basically copied what
Playbook.
somebody else did. Yes, he just copied somebody else's playbook. Anyway,
He probably
um,
had people whispering in his ears, but who knows?
well, it could be
Um,
the El Salvadorian
but there
president
are.
himself because he does
Here's the
have.
thing: if you guys are a single guy, and most of the guys that are arriving here, it is single. You do get couples that are all Western couples, or you have the single guys coming here. Life is too short, also, because like if you were single, which you said you're always single. So let's say you were single, then it would probably be a shame. That what did I tell you that if you fell down those stairs tomorrow and I started dating, didn't I say this? I said, you know what? I don't know if I would date another Filipino. I don't think I would date a Filipino. I told you my reasonings. You were special. You sure are special. So that's probably the only reason. I never thought about Asian. I doubt I ever think about Asian after that. And that's not what I told immigration last month during the interview, but I told them I was here for the women in beer when they asked me why I was here and why I wanted to live here. But anyway, so no, you would want to consider, like Chosen One. He gets around. He talk about talk about yeah, he gets around.
He's like Beach Boys.
Right. So, the American dream, way too expensive, hard dating and all that. Now, although I see people discussing the dating and they put all the blame on the Western woman and she's wanting too much and all this and that. You know what? It was like that back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Once you hit a certain age, whether you had money or not. I mean, I think modern times with the internet makes it harder. But I think when you go outside the United States, you're also seeing other possibilities. And people get bored. Like when I'm sitting here, sometimes I get extremely bored and I'm thinking, if I had good legs right now, which I don't, then I probably would be traveling a lot more. We would be saving more money towards some travel and everything else, you know, but getting and trying the other different countries, a lot of people, like I just seen a channel that was entirely dedicated. There's like three couples that all are traveling together, which makes sense. If you guys get a place that has, say, 3 bedrooms in it, think about it. You guys are all splitting the expenses of the electricity, and so they're traveling together all on Social Security. So you have a group situation going on with people traveling. So people are giving up on that American dream of just sitting there. I mean, if our money went further, it's a possibility we would have stayed in the US as a small possibility, but cost is a big factor to people. Then you add in the political unrest and where things seem to be turning into a third world country over there, and then people are leaving. It's just getting crazy over there by the moment.
All right, so let's talk about crazier and let's talk about what Chosen One's talking about because let's be real here. Some of you okay, some of you are into this and some of you aren't, but some of you are. And what I'm getting at, for example, Chosen One says interesting topic. I've given up an American-Philippine dream. Keep in mind he said Philippine dream. There's just too many options. Now, bear in mind, just to put things into perspective. Um, for example, if you're a smoker, okay, you can literally buy the Philippine or the Chinese brand or Korean branded smokes, depending on which one you want to pick. You can buy like a pack of smokes for $1.50 and below. Okay. Now, if you want Marlboro, a real pack of Marlboro is $4. Okay, and
It's
that's
double.
expensive. That's expensive here in the Philippines. I'm talking about that's already may patong, which means that's already like somebody buying it from bulk and then reselling it for more. So
Yeah.
for $4, it's Marlboro, real Marlboro cigarettes. Okay, for those of you who smoke. Okay, now as far as beer is concerned, it's about $1.25 on average. Varies depending on size, of course. And
Beer
all right,
in Living
Now,
broads in the
let's talk a little
Philippines.
bit deeper. If you guys want to sit down with a girl in a bar, okay,
Yeah, here
a
comes that.
bar, a bar girl, okay, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. If you want to sit down with a bar girl, you pay for her drinks. To have a bar girl sit with you and have a good time with you, okay, all you have to do is pay for her drinks, right? And guess what? It's $10 for her drink. That's it. $10. $10, you get somebody sitting there with you for the duration of that drink.
Is
Okay.
that what you do with your time when you leave here, George?
This is from research. Okay.
That's
So
probably that phone call you got earlier. You
yeah.
sneaky
Now,
snake. Honestly, I don't care because when
but
he's
I'm just
gone,
saying, where can you find in the U.S. or in Australia or in London, wherever you're at, for a beautiful girl? Mind you, it's your pick. You get to pick who you can have these line of girls, and you can say yes, no. Do you have more? Because they'll bring in the girls, and
oh,
then
you're talking Walking Street. You're just not talking about.
I'm not. I'm just giving you guys tips here. So they come in, that they bring in the girls,
I
and
wish you
you
would
can
bring them
say
girls
no.
home.
Now
to
here's a
do
tip,
my
guys. I'm gonna
dishes.
give you guys real tips here. Do not pick the first litter. The reason being, they don't bring out the best in the front line. You get it? So you
I
always say
really.
no to the first batch, and then they bring in the second batch, and you probably want to pick at the third batch. But anyway, on average, again, you pay $10 now per drink. Per drink.
I think you're doing this because you know it's a long day for me.
No, I'm
You
doing this
testing me.
because this is Chosen One made an interesting thing. See, he says I'm a
Yeah,
chain
but you're giving
smoker.
insider tips here
Well,
on.
yeah, and there because it's kind of somewhat in the subject, because I'm saying that the Philippine dream is still alive because these are current prices.
Sweetie, this is not Baby May and Old Dog Show. I will
Well,
slap you over
what
discussing bringing in the third round of women as an insider tip.
what I'm saying is it's still
You
it's
got me all
still within the
twisted.
Philippine dream.
Oh, okay. Okay,
You know
go
what I'm
on.
saying?
So we're just talking hypothetically.
Yes, hypothetically. And then if you want to hypothetically take them out, you're only gonna pay from.
We need to do a wife swap with Baby
You can
May.
pay about. I'm gonna be honest with you. Depending on the quality of the women, it could be from $50 below or $100 below. Point being,
Yeah,
can
right,
you
'cause it went up to
can you do
5,000.
that in the U.S.? Can you do that in Australia?
No, it's a
Can you
fraction
do
of
that
the cost to
in Britain?
date.
You cannot. Shoot, yeah, forget dating. Are you kidding me? Dates cost more than that. Well, if your dates cost less than that, then you have real issues.
Honestly, the first date when you took me
Yeah,
to the
that's what
riverfront and you got the
that's what I
flowers
said.
and you did all
If
that
your
probably cost you a
dates
couple hundred.
cost less than $100, and that was back then, you have real issues. You should spend on the person you think you would love, because love is priceless.
Uh, I'm saving this whole lot of loving for somebody else. The other guy named George. Watch. I'm gonna invite George over.
That's not George.
When you leave
That's
today,
Jorge.
I'm gonna invite George over, the guy with blue eyes here in this neighborhood.
That was Jorge.
I'm gonna message him to come over.
Yeah. But point being is, okay, no, but don't get me wrong again. Chosen One's been around, and I'm not going against what he's saying. I'm just saying that there is still the Philippine dream here. You just have to know where to look, how to look.
Well, but that dream can be crushed. Let me be a dream crusher because I love crushing dreams. I sleep on that stuff, right? So it brings me joy. Um, things happen. The things that will make people, you know, say no after a while. You still can run into bad eggs when it comes to dating, even if you are paying for everything. You got the scams, you got the power outages, you got there's so many different things that can actually go wrong. What else goes wrong that kills the Philippine dream? A lot of things, the infrastructure, traffic, then they move around a couple times but But you know what? I've seen people survive everything here, and then it took one bad date, or not date, but one bad dating a girl for years, and then something go wrong and it breaks them down. They go right back home.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Now, don't. Okay. I'm not fear mongering, guys. Again, for example, Field Rooster FTA says China's not even close to the verge of collapse. Again, I'm not anti-China. George, come on, you're showing you don't know what the first thing about China. Okay, actually, I do more than you guys realize, and I'm not talking about YouTube, and I'm not. Here's the thing: I already said this a long time ago before it even showed up on YouTube. Because there's something called economics. Guys, just follow the freaking money. You don't have to be a genius to figure things out. Okay? Same thing with USSR. USSR a long time ago was on the verge of collapse. Somebody says, "Oh, what do you know? You're talking about this USSR never went back." Okay, technically it didn't, but it did collapse. Same crap. You know what I'm saying? If you're homeless and out on the street and didn't declare bankruptcy, in my book, that's the same crap. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened to USSR. And that's where China's going at. Again, you don't have to argue me. Don't argue with me. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just telling you what's going to happen. And
right. So George isn't sitting on social media listening to TikToks in another country outside of Asia, just making predicaments.
yeah,
George is fairly analytical. If I'm
Heidi knows
panicking,
me. Yeah.
right? If I'm panicking, it's because I've seen a bunch of, like, I just seen the China Observer and a couple of the newspapers that are there, and actual, like, Americans living over there, and they said it's going to shit. It's going right
And
down
I
the
said
shitter.
this way before this
People are
even.
coming in the country from China
Yeah.
saying it's going down the shitter
No.
over there.
And
People
I
are
said this a
attacking
long
people
time
and
before
things
anything
are.
came to light. Before the
So
tariffs, before anything
it's
else. Follow the money. It's all about money. And if you again, I can just tell you exactly why it's in the crap, how it went to crap, and how the government helped China bring itself up. I can tell you all of that. But that's not what our channel's about. But I'm telling you how it affects you. Now, anyway.
Oh, it's going to affect America. That person making that comment, and they are new to the channel, more than likely is sitting over there in the following that everything's going to be okay over there. Okay, well, they can live on that one, but we see how things will go over the next few months.
Sean says it worries me if China sinks a Philippine ship, then U.S. is automatically involved. Things could spin out very out of control very fast. Yes, but it hasn't. However, it has injured and damaged ships and hurt crewmates, Philippine crewmates. Yes. Now, um, I don't understand this part. I don't understand. I will tell you things I understand and things I don't understand. First off, the maritime law is again, it's 2 miles in every country that by maritime international law that belongs to that country. And that's why I don't understand why the Philippine Sea all of a sudden disappeared out of Google. And Google should know this. Shoot, all you have to do is Google maritime 2 mile law country. It'll show every country within 2 miles that's their sea. I don't know why Google decided to get rid of Philippine Sea on the map. Um, the world knows this. Only the one that doesn't recognize the Philippine Sea is China. So I don't get. I will admit that I don't get. Chosen One says in America cigarettes cost $7. Yes. Again,
Yeah.
I can't live correct. And that's why I said the Philippine dream is still alive. Okay. Um you're not gonna spend $7 on again like on cigarettes or beer or women. Field
Mhm.
Rooster says trying to produce everything up and down the value chain, little tiny trinkets, little very simplistic points you're making. Yeah, I don't, dude. I'm probably not gonna mention you again because you're not making any sense. I already talked about this earlier, and I'm not talking about simple things. But anyway, Pablo Chian says George is very level-headed. Heidi, I don't think you're about to replace him with an AI humanoid robot. There you go.
Already did.
Yeah,
Anytime he goes over to a family function, I'm chismissing with AI.
there you go. No, she is. Um,
It is funny. I sit there and
but
say,
again, like I said,
my husband just ignores me all the time, and he keeps me locked up in the bathroom, and he'll answer like George says. They answer the same roundabout things if you say that, and then he'll say, "Have you considered you guys getting counseling?" So, just joking, but it is funny. I'll say he's mean to me, and he'll say, "I'm really sorry to hear about that. That he's mean to you." He goes on. He says, "You guys really should consider counseling." I'm like, that is
yeah,
funny.
and guys, remember, AI really isn't you. AI has existed since the 1970s, and I've dealt with AI a long time ago when I was a kid. And I hate to say this, has it moved forward? Yes. Has it gone? It has gone leaps and bounds, but it's still AI. For those of you who are veterans with AI, will know what I'm talking about. Chosen One says we need China. No, no, no. We do need China. Make no mistake about it. I love Walmart. But I do not consume many Chinese products. Well, again, it's not a question of whether you consume Chinese products. The problem is most even Western products depend on Chinese parts. They may not be big or obvious, but they're critical. Again, actually, back then, even military hardware used to rely on Chinese parts, and eventually the U.S. started to veer away from this, only for obvious reasons. Um, Victor C, did you enjoy the Kentucky Derby on TV?
Yes, it was very nice. Even my sister sent me photos where they actually had a party and had wine and grilled out and everything. And they sent me photos. And so, yes, great race. So, our family has watched it for years and years. So, of course, it was on. It was on for us the following day. It was same day, but different day situation. So, but yeah, very interesting. Because it actually was supposed to, because we're in the future, remember? It was
No, 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 that's not it. I'm thinking of
because
something
it's supposed
else.
to be X Sunday. I think it's
Yeah,
the first Sunday of May or something, or however that goes, but technically, or Saturday, I forgot the day, but yes. But
Luce.
yeah, I have to
Yeah,
show you the photos.
yeah. Luce says American Dream because you're supposed to be sleeping. Chosen One
Hmm.
says the American Dream is real. No, it is. Not sleep. Countries are still risking livelihood to cross the border. We just take it for granted. Correct. Correct. The opportunities are abound. For instance, there's a lot of jobs out there, except that usually the American population doesn't want to take those jobs. Lou says when I was working as a cashier back in 2009, cigarettes were about 15 bucks for a rim, maybe 10 pack, and that's awfully high for a one pack. But 15 bucks probably for a rim. I don't
Hmm.
know how much now.
Uh, no, I mean I can remember getting cartons of cigarettes because I used to smoke Marble Light back in the day. Even did the little Capri cigarettes, and I
Capri,
used
those aren't cigarettes.
right. They
Those are
used to taste like
paper sticks.
marshmallows. Yeah, they
Yeah,
used to
those are
even have a
paper
marshmallow.
sticks.
But geez, when a carton of cigarettes went over, I think when I started smoking in, let's see, it had to be 87, last year of high school, then I don't know. I'm trying to put a price on that. But I remember when cigarettes at some point after the kids were born got up to 23, 24 for a carton of cigarettes, 25, 30, 33. I was like, oh, hell no. Nah. So when cigarettes got to be over a certain amount, even the good ones, that's a long time ago. That's taking it way back. But yeah, cigarettes got to be $2, $3, $4. And then of course you go into New York, it really got crazy. So yeah.
Yeah, that's why 305 cigarettes became popular because they're like 5 bucks when they first came out. 305, for those who are wondering, are from cigarettes from Miami. That's why they're called 305 because that's the area code of the phone number 305.
Yeah, 305.
Yeah, and well, American cigarettes are they got popular only because they were local. Chosen One says $15 sounds right in New York. I'm in Tennessee. It's cheaper. $7 too is too expensive. No, it is. It is. It adds up quick. Sartan says I was first. Check messages. Aw. Oh, that's the one you showed me.
Hmm.
Aw. Thank you so much, Sarah. Appreciate the picture. David Bryan says, I guess my ex was in the first litter.
Oh, the one I just showed you?
Yeah.
That was Jennifer.
Oh, that was Jen.
Sorry, yeah. I have a sister named Jen. And so all my sisters actually got dressed up for the horse race. It was my grandmother's favorite thing. No, I guess you didn't recognize. You should have recognized all this. Let's check it out. Family inheritance.
Oh well, I mean,
I know you're not a boob man, are you?
well.
Well,
Lou says, George here in
George said,
Texas,
well.
the hole in the
Oh,
wall
wow.
bars, aka Glory Hole, and strip club have lady drinks. I'm joking. I'm joking. He's talking about the hole in the wall bars. Have lady
See, that'll
drinks.
tell you AI's wrong.
Yeah.
They said a pack of marbles in '87 was almost $7, and there's no way they were that high.
Yeah.
In 1987.
The lady drinks cost $18 per beer. Yeah, so it's about again about half on average here in the Philippines for that much. Hank Sandoval says the old school American dream was to own your the old school American dream. Okay, he says was to own your own home after I think he means ergonomics. The middle class slowly got decimated. Now the dream is just to survive sad. No. The real American dream is to have your family, have your own home with a white picket fence and a car.
But even if you're not, that doesn't always have to be in the American dream. It's just being able to pay your bills and be able to go on some sort of small vacation, camping trip, or whatever. But I just watched an entire show in Australia and America how bad it is. People are taking on these payday loans, they're living on credit card debt, they're behind on their mortgages, and it's becoming further and further. The American dream is becoming unobtainable. But
Oh yeah, the kids nowadays, I feel bad for them.
it's when I think about the whole situation of how much debt that people are getting into, it's one woman. Now this was on social media, but she's kind of telling the truth that if the bottom drops out, the recession comes, will the new generation be able to do without? If you're just down to eating basics, you're not eating out, because the new kids, including our kids in their mid 30s and upper 30s, they got used to eating out all the time. That's a norm. Being given McDonald's is a given now. When I was a kid, we went once a year. So, in other words, they become really super spoiled. They're used to getting things when they want, how they want. And that includes people in their 30s. So the newer generations, if everything drops out and you can't afford to go nowhere and you got to stay home with your family all the time, and say some of y'all, like, you can't afford your kids' cell phones, I'm going to cut that shit off.
What?
You got that point. I'm talking about people are really going to have to start cutting back. Can the new generation deal with a bunch of stuff?
New generation.
I'm cutting you off.
How many of you had cell phones when you were teenagers? Just saying.
Our kids did.
I didn't say our kids. I'm saying us.
No, well, no, I'm talking about currently though.
I
Now. I'm talking about the
know
newer
that, but
generation.
what I'm saying, you have to remember that you're the older we are, the more we pay.
No. And here's another thing. I thought hard about this, but I didn't present it to you. Let's say that some of these people out there that are threatening things based on what's going on in the United States, and they pull the plug on the internet and they do something and it drops out. I mean, what would people, or what would we do if all of a sudden a bunch of technology dropped out?
Oh,
How would people
that's not hard to
imagine?
no, that's not hard to imagine. It's total utter anarchy.
Right. So, but I was sitting there thinking, George is working or he's sleeping. Believe me, I think he's doing more sleeping than he is working, and spending time with family. So I do find myself here alone. That's why I do some live streams in between. And I'm thinking, what if I didn't have the mahjong game and all that? And I was like, well, I survived as a young adult and raising the kids all those years without the internet, but it helps to have that interaction or being able to talk, with family and friends through the internet. But if that dropped out and going back to old school, I had to really think about that. Yeah, we would just go back to what we do already, board games, and there would be, but we do fill our time with nonsense now. So I had to stop and think about it.
Well, okay. For
Ever since
example,
we've met, we've been on our phones gaming at
on
least.
on a realistic level, things that we lost, gardening.
Hmm.
Gardening is pretty much lost, and I hate to say this. Most of this crap I see
Scrapbooking and
on
crafts and
YouTube
stuff.
doesn't work.
Oh yeah, when people do the videos, yeah. And I've been guilty of trying some of this stuff.
Yeah, especially do-it-yourself carpentry or do-it-yourself welding and crap like that. I watch the crap. I'm like, what is wrong with these people? They're giving really bad advice. It's
Mhm.
not gonna work. It's gonna collapse. It's gonna break. It's gonna. Oh
Mhm.
my gosh.
Because it's a bunch of do-it-yourselfers. So I'm concerned about the new
Well, they do it for
generation.
the views. They don't do it for actually teaching or educating. I mean, I hate to say this. Um,
It's just I think about the amount of money that parents are putting into the kids, the amount that the kids are putting into themselves, and all the fakeness and fake this to keep up with the Joneses and all of that. Maybe America and the world needed a wake up call, and they're liable to get a real big one by the end of the year. Maybe this was just meant to be. It's a wake up call.
well, it's part of the system. It was
America
meant to happen.
got lazy. America got lazy relying on the products from other countries when we should have kept the manufacturing there and kept the jobs there. We should have tried harder. We sold out. We took on a bunch of products from other countries and we're selling stuff from online, all the TikToking that's selling. There's a ton of sellers in America. When TikTok was going down, people's entire livelihoods are relying on TikTok now. They got used to TikToking all day for their money, even if they weren't selling anything. It's just been a whole different generation right now. And even the older ones are getting on board, like us doing social media, but we don't rely on it for entire livelihood. If it drops out, we lose $300, $400 a month. We're not going to die. So, but some people's entire lives, there's so much going on when and it kind of does feed the American Philippine dream and why people are leaving. One of the biggest reasons, if you had to put the top four on the table, is I got tired of keeping up with the Joneses next door. You know me. That's just I can't help it. That's just within me, not George. George doesn't care, for this, and that. He cares, but don't. If we ran out of money tomorrow, we're going to live, hand to mouth. But it did seem to me that that's what was going on in the U.S. and the neighborhoods we were in and stuff.
Oh, you're gonna eat live bagok today.
Oh hell no, I'm not.
What? Why'd I buy bagok for then?
For yourself, I threw the last one out. I imagine you've seen that. I got rid of that about 2 days ago. That's probably why you bought it.
For those of you wondering what bagok is shrimp paste.
It's toothpaste. Don't let them fool you. That's a Filipino word for toothpaste.
Okay, don't believe Heidi. Obviously, it's not toothpaste. It's shrimp paste.
Gook, bagook.
It's really
Bagoo.
it's basically
It's the best toothpaste
eating
around.
mini anchovies. The best way to explain it. But anyway, David Bryan says love is priceless until you get divorced and lose 2 houses. Whoa. Right? There you go.
But that can happen here, guys. Don't let. I just think that's that. I watched the comments. We've had almost 3,600 views on that short of the American man that got allegedly ripped off by the Filipina over the money, and they did a sting and setup where they went in and gave her the money and then arrested her or whatever. A lot of people have been commenting, and I've been seeing other articles on Facebook. They pretty much said the guy deserved what he got. And they're saying pretty much for giving away all the stuff that he did. They're just saying that he deserved anything that he got. You know what I'm talking about? You're looking at me like I'm crazy right now, which you do quite often. You don't know what subject I'm talking about?
No.
You weren't here for that? I don't remember. You were here, right?
Well,
See,
whether
I can't even remember. The black guy that had the Filipino online that asked for 2.5 million for the condo, and he took her the money.
And that's what I was getting at. Remember,
we did a short. I said,
okay, I get it, but
people were saying he
remember,
got
a
ripped
lot of
off.
people, you have to tell them exactly
I
who
ain't
you're
got time
talking
for that.
about. because you can't assume they know who you're talking about. That's what I
Mm.
was getting at. CBGB says women love me for who I am. George, I never pay. No, and again, I don't believe in paying either. I'm just giving you little tips on the side. Nothing. I mean, obviously, my advice has nothing to do with you, CBGB. But I'm just letting you know. But then again, you know what? Even let's say you're the kind of guy who doesn't want to
Well,
pay. Sometimes
I mean, there has to be at some point if he's married or something, you paying one way or the other. I mean,
no,
surely,
no, no. I know that, but there's a difference between paying and paying.
yeah, no. Oh, he's talking about like paying.
Right. I mean, I've never paid for anything like that either, but I don't have a problem paying
You
for a
paid
date.
you paid with these
Yeah.
donuts you did.
Right. For example, I have no problem bringing something to the table to make the other person happy. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, so we're going
Right,
in.
right. CBG says, but I only date vampires, so CBGB is only into goth. Field Roaster says, George, despite your China comments about being collapsed, not true. You
It is on the
made up for it with
collapse.
your insightful advice, info about Philippine bar strategy. Okay, I won't argue, but I say the fallacy is comparing USSR with China. USSR made a lot of mistakes, which China studied carefully as an avoid. Now, be aware, I didn't say they're doing the same thing. I never said that. In fact, they're not even close. The collapse
Mm.
of the USSR and China have nothing to do with each other. In fact, again, what China's doing is actually better than what
Oh my
USSR
god.
did. But again, that's not what our channel's about.
Check it out. It says just like Dad. Remember the candy cigarettes? They used to sell the
Oh, I
candy
love those. Remember
cigarettes.
those guys?
The
You
candy
know the
cigarettes.
the ones that you puff
They had the gum
and then
ones with the
and then
smoke,
they have the smoke, right?
which was just powder, by the way. But it shows this the candy cigarettes. They had the mint peppermint ones that were a white chalky, whatever. But they're showing here. But I was right. It said in 1985. It said 84 and 85. A carton of cigarettes was $8. That was for brand name.
Hmm.
So yes, when it got up to $20, and I think this was
Yeah,
87,
and right
88.
right now
Daughter was
Marlboro's four
born in
dollars.
'89. Yeah, right after I graduated, and I started because hey, I like the little
Yeah.
beer with my cigarettes in high school. But the deal is, yeah.
When I
So
first arrived in the US, it was 4.75 a pack. So I mean, now it's $4 right now here in the Philippines. So that tells you a lot on the pricing. Um, Chosen One says, I've been to many countries, only the Philippines. Only the Philippines have brownouts. I promise, maybe some parts of Africa, but I have not witnessed it. Depending on where you're at, you may or may not encounter brownouts, depending where you're at.
okay, what was that about?
Some have more than others, but unfortunately, it there's too many power plant companies here to let you know which one does and doesn't.
Did you see this?
So
It says here it's a guy. I don't know why. This is the only thing about the post. It said the guy got posed with his grandmother at the funeral. He thought he was getting almost $1 million from her, which I don't have any idea why they would put this on the internet. But it said that he left. He did not get the money. She left him his dog and her dentures. She told him to go get them out of the house in the will before the person that she gave the house away to. So I take it he was a bad grandson. But
could
I don't know why that somebody would post a photo,
it doesn't
maybe
make
an
sense,
ex girlfriend.
or just to get viral.
That's the sad part
That's the
about
sad
it all.
part. Most of this stuff isn't real. Hank Sandoval says reagonomics, trickle down economics. Um, Field Roaster says I'm not new to the channel, Heidi. I just don't comment much. CBGB, no more brownouts. There you go. Hey Barry, how you doing? Barry and the PI in the house, guys.
Hey, what's going
Hey, made it
on?
live. How you all doing? How you doing, Barry? It is kind of late in the day, so yeah, good to see that you made it. Luca says I thought Google got the Philippine West Sea on the map. Yes, it was on and then it disappeared, then it went back on. Yes. Leonard Marlin says today China has started talks and already removed $40 billion of tariffs on American products. Um, Chosen One says Kentucky Derby is for the rich people making lots of money. I enjoyed the Derby after parties. There you go. That's what I was thinking. I remember more of the parties more than the Derby, if that makes any sense. Leonard Marlin says by July 4th, the trade will be over and the president will have signed the big, beautiful tax bill into law. Now, that's what I've heard too. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying I've heard of that one. Like a spot says, Luckies are. Oh my gosh, Luckies! I haven't heard that in a while. Luckies are currently at $8. Marlboro Reds are at $15, and Indonesian Clove cigarettes are at $6 in Orange County. Man, Luckies they're the ones that you see like they put on the helmets of soldiers in Vietnam in movies.
Well, they didn't put them on there. That's the only way they can keep them suckers dry.
No, no, I know.
You know, I was in Nam.
R-
I
Yeah,
rode that ball sack
yeah,
all,
you were in your
all the
dad's
way
ball
to the
sack in
track,
Nam. That's a different story. Yes.
but I was there.
Yeah, I guess he carried you, didn't he? Hank Sandoval
No.
says, "I hope you don't smoke anymore." Heidi. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't.
No, actually, that's what I mean. I wish I had, people don't think I have willpower. Yeah, because I haven't lost weight much here lately. But still, I mean, I don't smoke anymore. I don't drink anymore. I don't do any party favors anymore. I don't do any bad stuff. I behave myself. The most crime that I've done in a while is eat these donuts and fast food. And it's, I mean, the doctor said you had to give up on something, and I had to keep George. So.
Rob Morrison, I was getting sucked into AI YouTube economic videos until I realized they were biased on both sides. Half truths are not real. Yes, this is true. Like a spot says, Ronald Reagan economics. Well, I hate to say it, but Ronald Reagan, don't get me wrong, to me, I think he was a
I'm
great
glad
president.
The president is standing up. It is taking some balls. I still believe there's a puppet government going on. I believe he's got attitude and gump and all of that, but I also think he's fly by night. Even the top economic people and the top people in the news and even his own side is saying something about what's going on. But we have to wait and see. You never know. You actually never know. But I know right now tourism is being killed. And even if this comes back around with the tariffs, a lot of foreigners are canceling their trips. Have you seen the large, vast amounts that are not going to America right now? And it's going to affect everybody. It's going to affect everybody down the line. So.
Yeah, Larry Martin says too many different internet providers will never happen. I turn off the internet on Sunday. We talk, read books, and play cards. It can happen if there's an outside source that will force it to happen, aka an EMP pulse. Can it happen worldwide? Technically, yes. Very unlikely, but it's possible. And that's why we hope it doesn't happen because it will turn the world into anarchy. Chosen One says, pull the plug on internet. We survived 10K years before it. That's correct. Well, the problem is it's not so much as we survived before it. There's so much stuff. I mean, think about it this way. Again, I'm not talking about Chosen One because obviously Chosen One is well, actually, it will affect Chosen One. For example, if let's say a worldwide EMP pulse happens, and there's several things that can cause this, but let's say the entire world is out of internet, and it can happen various models. Your money, where's your money at? You know what I'm saying? Your money's gone because it's in a digital banking system. You know what I'm saying? And you can say, "Oh, well, I'll walk into a bank." Well, guess what? They can't access your bank account because there's no computers. You know what I'm saying? Depending on, of course, obviously, I'm going to extreme here because I'm talking about EMP pulse or worldwide, aka, you know, the electromagnetic shielding of the Earth fails, and then that kind of deal. Point is, unlikely, but if it does, it's catastrophic. Like a spot says, guys, I officially need to smuggle Nutella. It's now $10 for regular 26.5 ounces.
Yeah.
Lou says my aunts uncles lived in the U.S. with sixth grade education, did not speak English during the 70s, and managed to be homeowners in California, New York, and Texas.
Which
He's
is
talking about
awesome.
the American dream.
Oh, wait a minute.
Larry Martin says, I agree. We should be making more products in American. Correct. I agree with that too. CBGB says my parents came over as galley slaves. That can't be. No, no way. That's no. Maybe your great 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 grandparents, maybe. Like a spot, but go on.
It could be his parents. They probably worked on the Caribbean cruise or something.
Oh, damn.
Ah, snap.
This is bagoong. It's shrimp paste. It's really nasty stuff. It's really smelly stuff. If you have a
Ugh,
yeah,
you're giving me the willies
it's
here.
it's the best way to describe it's pulverized anchovies is the best way to describe it as far as taste is concerned. Originally, it's made out of anchovies, but it's cheaper to make it out of shrimp, so therefore they make it out of shrimp. Sean says corporate America sent all manufacturing to China. Correct. Americans stopped working. China's CCP got richer along corporations like Apple. Yes, that's called Foxconn. Chosen one says, Sarah, that's your crazy boyfriend trying to call you. Oh, that's funny. Luca says, true, America has become consumer economy. Same with the Philippines. Larry Martin says, I bought my duplex in 1975 for $16,000. Can't do that today. I paid
Yeah.
taxes last month, $3,000. The country assessed our duplex for 200,000. Would I buy it for that? Hell no.
Ah.
Right? Like a spot, this madam in Westworld said to a guy, "You pay for love one way or another." That's what Heidi said. The difference is in her brothel is that their rates are posted at the door.
Right.
Ooh.
It is true. But here's the thing, you would say the same. I would say the same about Mary and George. All right, we're losing daylight here.
Yeah, oh well actually we're actually here. Um Hillbilly Pyro, how you doing, man? Hillbilly
Hey,
Pyro
what's up?
says not many brownouts here in Toledo City near the power plant. Good place, good place. But coal ash falls down from the sky. Oh, yes, that does happen occasionally at night. You really can't see it with your eye, but my security cam sees it. A pack of Reds here costs. Oh, a pack of Marlboro Reds there. And again, like I said, the $4 Marlboro Reds. I'm saying that's high. But Hillbilly says their pack of Reds where he's at, it's hot. It's $3 for Marlboro Reds. It's actually less than $3. It's about $2.75. Yeah, less than $3. Correct. It's about $2.75. Hi, Laura. How you doing?
Hey.
David Cardona. More jobs in America. How will AI affect that? Well, AI will help with the jobs. Don't get me wrong, but it also help it's kind of like a wash. It'll help the ones that have jobs and also not help the ones that don't have jobs. So AI is a wash. It's a plus and minus. Laura says I saw you on the tube on Mustang Ranch in Nevada. There you go. Angelo says good morning, y'all. Just woken up. I could not believe that green mango with bagoong is popular treat that people buy in shopping. Yes, we actually bought a bag of green mangoes right now. But I brought the apple mangoes. They're they're sweet mangoes. They're not super sweet, but they're just right. Leonard Martin says that's why we keep 2 months of budget money in our safe. You should. I would say 3 months minimum. Um, because I know given the chance Social Security or GTE can screw up my retirement, always best to keep cash on hand or an emergency.
You have
CBGB
to.
says, I'm always looking for love. I'm always looking for love in all the wrong places.
I'm trying to do two things at once because
I get no respect. I get no respect. No respect, I tell you. Right?
all right, guys, we appreciate you dropping in. We have to wrap this up and we got a full day going on.
Yeah, we have, what do you call it? Undisclosed important stuff to do.
Yes.
Yeah, we love you all for being with us and thank you for sharing your thoughts. Whether you're with us or against us, again, you feel free to comment down below. Well, after the live, obviously, but thank you so much. Appreciate it. Don't forget to go to your best friend's house and go attack their cupboard and rip off all the labels on their
Thank
canned
you,
goods.
Laura. Thank you to our members, Ted,
I believe that's Discerning Dash.
Discerning Dash. Thank you. And to our members that are here and Sarah. Spot was in the
Yeah. Lou,
house.
thank you so much. Appreciate you so much, guys.
Chosen
We
One
love you
was
all.
in
Yes,
the
of course, chosen one.
house. George, Jen, thank you. Trying to do 3 things at the same time here. Discerning Dash, thank you so much for your support. And I think that was it. All right, guys, we will talk to you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.